Hey guys, Anthony here, and I wanted to say thank you for attending our webinar that you came to a few days ago. We went over a lot of cool stuff, including the new way of flipping cars, as well as how to prioritize the buying over the selling, and a lot of other really cool stuff on how to get started flipping cars today. Now, I got a lot of questions from the webinar as well as in my email, and I was kind of replying to them one at a time. But I wanted to go ahead. I figured it's probably going to make more sense to make a video and address all the different questions in one video. So this is what that is. And some of the most common questions that I got were, do I need to have sales skills? I may not have any sales skills in my past. So what makes it possible that I can do this car flipping thing now? And one of the things that came up a lot as well was, what cars should I be buying and what price should I be buying them at? And that's a really good question. That's something that I didn't really dig very, very deep into on the webinar because it varies for each person. But I also got the question, will this work for me? Even if I'm not a good salesperson, if I don't have any special skills, if I don't have anything that I can do on a vehicle as far as working on it, stuff like that. And those are all great questions. So what I did, I went ahead and made this video, and it's going to go over all that stuff. Why you don't need sales skills, which cars to buy and what price to pay, and why you don't need any special skills, and you can get started doing this with as little as $500 to $1,000. So awesome. What I'm going to do real quick, we're going to jump into the computer, and I'm going to start to go over some of the finer points of these three topics. And at the end of the video, hopefully you'll have a lot clearer picture of these questions. All right, so let's go. All right, so we're going to cover why you don't need any sales skills. And if you stick around to the end of the video as well, I'm going to show you a live flip view of, me looking for a flip car and the different things that I look for when identifying potential cars to flip. So our first question that we have today is, what if I have no sales skills? And this actually, it ties into the second question today, which we are going to cover, which is, what cars to buy and what price to pay for those cars. And what if I have no car or automotive skills? So these are three big questions that we're answering today, and they're great questions. They're probably the most common that I get by far. So we'll go over the first. What if you have no sales skills? And that's perfect because when I started, I had no sales skills in about 2012, 2013, because I was just about to graduate college and I had never had any sales related job. But pretty much all I did at that time was, I bought a car or two here and there, and then I just put it on Craigslist and put quite a few pictures, and people would ask, is this still available? And then I just say yes. When you want to see it, we'd meet up. And there wasn't a lot of selling involved because I generally just kind of sat back and let the person look at the car. No pressure. We drove it. Then after I'd say one thing, and this is going to be the anti-salesperson's key phrase when they want to sell is, what did you think? Because you're not selling. You're not saying, so you want to take it home today. You're not being pushy, but you just ask a question. What did you think? And what they'll do is they'll tell you everything that they thought as far as the vehicle, what they didn't like, what they did like, unless they don't want to open up, which that's fine. I've had plenty of people that don't really open up until after the sale. That's because they have their guard up, they have their walls up. So you don't need to sell because they're protecting themselves against someone who's trying to sell. So you may actually have a bit of an advantage if you have no sales skills, because you know what that feels like to go somewhere and to be on guard against someone trying to sell you. So if you're like relaxed and quiet and not really salesy, they may actually open up to you better. And really the purpose of selling is to get people to open up to you so you can ask them questions so they can tell you what they need. And hopefully that kind of sinks in, because most people think that selling equals pressure, but that's not true. Not at all. Selling equals questions, equals solving a problem or a need. This is what it is. And when you're quiet or not really pushy, this may be an advantage, because if you can just get yourself to ask some questions, or have the car that they need, that's gonna go a long way. Something as simple as, let's say you're meeting someone, you're selling them the car. You're not selling them the car. You're just meeting them. You say hi. You say, hey, how's it going? I'm Anthony. Cool. So yeah, here's my car. It's my '03 Camry. It drives great. And they'll say, oh, cool, yeah. I'm looking for my daughter a car and this and that. And then all you got to say is, well, you're welcome to look around, check it out. I'm just going to go inside the gas station, get a drink, and if you want to drive it, when I come back out, we can go take it for a spin. They're like, oh, cool, great, we'll do that. Don't give them the key, but take the key in with you. And then when you come back out, just say, what did you think? What do you think? And they'll say, yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's in good shape. Can we take it for a drive? Like, yeah, jump on in. And then you take it for a drive. You don't have to say anything. They might strike up a conversation. They might ask you a few questions. Do you know if this works, that works? Be like, yeah, it works. And then when you get back, after they drive it, just when they get out of the car, you get out of the car, be like, so what'd you think? They'll say, yeah, it drives great. I think this is the one that we like. We just need to think about it. And then you might say, yeah, no problem. Is there any, what do you need to think about? Anything I can help you with? And then they'll say, well, we just don't want to jump at the first car we see, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's no problem. And then just go on from there. Now if you want to get salesy, you can close it a little harder there, or you can just kind of let it go. They might call you back the next day and say, hey, that's the best car. I want that car. They might even say, after you say, what did you think? They might just say, oh yeah, this is the best one by far. We're gonna take it. See, you don't have to sell. You don't have to do any really sales gimmicks. All you got to do is ask them what they think, and relating to the next point, if this car is the best deal on the market or the nicest one, you don't have to sell it. The car will sell itself 100%. So that's where we're going to lead into the next question, which is, what cars are we flipping and what price? Now in the video, in the webinar, we went over how we're selling cars from $2,000 to $4,000 price range, because this is a price range where we can add the most value. So we can buy cars that are decent shape, very reliable, good solid cars in this price range, and they typically will sell, because in the $2,000 to $4,000 price range, people have a lot of trouble finding good, reliable vehicles. Now, if you remember on this slide here, it is hard to find a decent car in that price range, and they're out there having a really bad experience with most sellers. Most sellers are flaky. They don't reply. They're sketchy. They're in bad parts of town. And then when people try to buy from dealers, you know how dealers are. They're sketchy. And all my competitors are like this. We hear customers give us like terrible experiences they've had. People on Facebook being like, well, just come see the car. I can't sell it to you online. And the person just asking them how are the tires? And the sales guy was saying, I don't know, just come see it. I can't sell a car over Facebook. Be like, really, dude? Like, if these are what my competitors are doing, this makes it easy for me. And it's the same for you, because these people, they just want a decent, reliable car that's ready, that's good to go, and that they can be proud of. That's it. That's all they want. Of course, other than the individual features of the car they want, that's the overall main point. So what you do is you just look for cars that you can sell in that price range that are really, really nice and that are better than any other car in that price range. And the key here is you need to know the 2000 to 4000 or 3, but know the 4 to 2 no, oh my gosh. Know the $2,000 to $4,000 price range. Like the back of your like the back of your hand. If you're doing this, you need to know what's out there for that price. And it's very simple. Use Craigslist. I don't like to use Facebook very much because there's so much junk on there and it's just so subjective. Like they don't, you don't see a lot of cars on there, but on Craigslist they show you everything. So you just go in here, type in this $2,000 to $4,000 price range, and see what's out there. I always look by owner because, of course, dealers are going to be a little overpriced. But this is a dealer, but he's got a Prius for 3,000, 170,000 miles. So you start to get an idea. The more just look at all these cars. Just go through, look at them, read them, and you really start to get an idea of what cars go for and what years go for in your area. This is a car flipper. Anytime I see 2950, I just assume he's a car flipper. But this tells you that, hey, a Sienna with 200,000 miles, that's worth 25 to 3,000. That's what people can get. So if I go buy a Sienna for a '05 Sienna with 200,000 miles, then I best believe, I'm going to know that I can sell it for 25 to 2,700, but not much more. So I don't need to be paying more than 1,500 to 2,000 for that van because this is what's out there. Same with the Prius. If I go buy a Prius with higher miles and I pay $2,500, and I'm an idiot because they're selling for 3, not 4. So you do that. You go out there, and every single day you just know the price range. You just know the market like the back of your hand, and after about a month, you're going to be an expert on that. And it makes it very easy because you're not going off of Blue Book value. You're going off of your brain value. You know what cars are selling for, and you just buy the cars that are nice and fit in that price range. Now, if you want to get more specific, this is our criteria when we buy vehicles. It's not super strict, but it's pretty close. So I buy cars that are 10 to 15 years old with under 180,000 miles, and I try to buy cars that don't really need much work other than minor things, but for you that can be more or less depending on your skills, and depending on how much work you want to do. And I don't typically pay any more than $2,300 for a car, maybe $2,500 on a good deal. Now I'm talking about 80% of my inventory. Of course, I've got cars over that because I've been doing it for a while, and there's some good big deals out there that I take risks on. But I also just lost $3,000 on a truck that I paid $7,000 for because the engine locked up. So there's that risk, and I knew the risk, and I can't be mad about it because I made the risk. But if you follow these general criteria, these are going to put you in a good position. I'm actually going to put here like a price range. For me, it's 1,500 to 23. For you, it might be 1,000 to 23, or it might be 1,000 to 2. Whatever. But have a general criteria. People have a hard time buying anything that's 200,000 miles, and we've almost cut out all cars that have 200,000 miles completely. So that's going to help you sell. But this is a general good overview of what we're doing, because you really need to be looking to buy a car and fit it into the price range. You don't want to go out there and look for a car that you buy. I'm going to show you an amazing drawing of a car here. Boop, boop. You don't want to buy it and then be like, well, what's it worth? How much can I get out of it? What's the most I can sell it for? Like, you start asking these questions, and then you kind of lead yourself down a path of risk. But if you buy the car knowing that you're going to stick it into a price range, let's say 3,000. But if you look at the retail value on this car, the retail value is like 5 to 6, but it's got some scratches, some dings, a little dirty. You'd think, no, based on what I've seen, that's going to fit in the $3,000 price range. So that's what we're going to sell it for. So, whether it's a newer or a little older, depending on what it is and what the $3,000 price range is in your area, as long as it's better than those that are out there, you're okay. You're going to do great. Which leads us into our next point. What if I have no car or automotive skills? Like, what if I don't have any mechanic skills, I don't have any paintwork skills, I can't detail, I can't sell. In your head, you're fucked. That's what you think, but that's not true, because when I started doing this, I had no idea what an engine or transmission were, what the difference was, nothing about cars. I didn't even know that cars could have a bad engine. The first car I flipped, I lost $2,000 on because I paid $2,500. It started knocking. I didn't know what that meant. And then I had to sell it because the engine went out. So I had no idea that was something that cars do, is like the engine brakes or the transmission brakes. Which is, that's as unknowledgeable as you can be. So I've got one solution that's going to help this. No car skills. I've got one solution, and that is get it inspected by a third-party mechanic. Someone who is legit, professional. You don't want a shade tree guy. He's gonna tell you the wrong stuff. Just get someone that's good. Get a good local reputable shop. Get them to do it, and it might cost you $5,200. That just means that might save you $1,000 in headaches. If you don't want to go doing looking at 5 or 10 cars a day and just getting 5 or 10 inspected and blowing $500, $300, whatever. If you have no skill to that level, that's just, you need to be putting even more time into knowing the market, knowing the price range, because that's free. It doesn't cost you anything to get this knowledge. Go out there, learn the market, know it like the back of your hand, and that's going to help you. That's just going to help. Just research every single day. Just go out there, see what cars have problems. Like say in your area, all the cars under 2,000, they all have major problems. Well, that means when you sell a car for 2,000 that has no problems, easy money. It also means, if you see the $4,000 price range has a ton of nice cars, really clean, low miles, that means you might want to stick to under 3,000, because then you can start to buy some of the cars that have dings or, little dents, stuff like that, but are really reliable at lower miles. You can sell those for 3,000, because if you sell that car for 4,000, all these cars are too clean to sell at that price range. So do that. Get it inspected, and something as simple as look up mechanic shop. Find the good reviews. Go in here to maps, look in your area. Google reviews. That'll tell you what's going on. Now, Roberts, they're great. My local area, they're awesome. That's it's a semi, whatever. Not them. Tate Boys, they're a local chain. They're great. They do awesome. They do free vehicle inspections for a lot of our customers, because look, we're right here and they're down here. They're 2 miles away, and they do a lot of free inspections for our customers, and we tell them, no problem, take it down there, get it checked out, and it takes them about 30 to 45 minutes typically. So just do that. Easy, problem solved. And over time, you'll learn mechanic skills, because as you flip cars, you'll have some issues pop up. You'll research those issues. You'll find out how to fix them, and then after a while, you'll have those skills. But if you have no car skills starting out, get it inspected by a third party. Easy. So those are those 3 questions, right? If you guys have any more questions, email me, contact me. I'll help you out as much as I can. And I'm going to give you a live view real quick of what I kind of look for in a flip car. So let's say that, I do want to buy a car and sell it for 3,000. That's kind of the price range that I'm going to be sticking to. So I'm sticking to selling a car under 3,000 because I've got 1,500 bucks in my pocket, and this is what I'm looking to do. Now it seems to me that anytime I see 35th and Sheridan like this, that's a dealer, and that seems to be the case. Yeah, this. What the hell? So this guy's selling salvage cars. Huh. Who the hell is that? Anyways, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna look for some vehicles that I think might be a good deal. Now this one's a scam. Look at the picture. It's too nice. It looks like a photographer took it. Um, when one thing to notice in a scam is when it's got weird punctuation. Um, I mean, like that's just weird language. Look at, just look at that car. There's no way. If there's no phone number, it's a scam. Um, well, there is. So I guess let's see. A lot of times I like to Google phone numbers and really see what's going on. Because scammers are getting smart. They get smarter every day. Um, I don't know. I mean, you can call the number. It's probably fake. Anytime I see 2950 or any weird number that's not ending in like 1700, it's usually a dealer. So, oh, this is a great example. I love buying cars that need hubcaps because not that many miles though. But man, these are some shitty pictures. Look at that. So this might actually be a good deal to flip because I look at distance, how far from the metropolitan area, which is right here. So it's about 20 minutes outside of the city. That means if we bought it and we lived in the city, we brought it in, we'd have a lot more people willing to come look at it because it'd be closer. So when I see two pictures, terrible. So this is a move. The first thing is, check for a phone number because nobody answers email. I mean, you might actually be able to go through and just email all the ads that don't have phone numbers, and you might get some replies, and you might be able to lowball because they're not getting any. If you have a ad with an email and no phone number, you don't get any people interested. So that might be a hack. Just go through all the listings that don't have a phone number and email them. They might be desperate to sell. But the first move is I'm gonna offer this guy $1,000. So call him up, text him, say, hey, how's the interior condition? They'll say it's in good shape. Be like, we take $1,000 cash. I got cash for you. I'm ready to come get it. I'll run up there, and get him to send you more pictures first. And then if it's all nice, pretty decent, maybe pick up a tail light for $20 from a local pick apart salvage if you want. I mean, that's probably what you're gonna need to do, and they're cheap. The next thing, it's got a broken door handle right there. You know what? This is one that I try to pay $500 to $800 on. I mean, you could pay $1,000. I'm sure you'll maybe sell it for 15 pretty quick, but I would say $700 to $900 on this car because they obviously have beaten it up. But the first thing you do is put some hubcaps on it. It's going to look 1,000 times better. I promise. That right there will just make the whole car pop. And then, get a tail light for it. If you're able to, fix the door handle. If not, then, maybe just leave it. You're selling it cheap anyways. And then, put those hubcaps on it. You see this plastic trim? Spray some tire shine all on it right there. Cover that up. It'll look black and shiny with the hubcaps. And take 15 to 20 pictures. I cannot stress that enough. 15 to 20 pictures. And the car will instantly look like a $1,500 to $2,000 car. That's what I would do. I mean, it's just over our 15-year 15-year range, but being cheaper like that, that's okay. Now this one, that's way too old, 98. That one's a dealer, 1995. That's dumb. I've already looked at this one. That one has a blown head gasket. Don't touch those. When I see back pictures like this, it makes me wonder, like, what are you thinking? Do you think people want to see the back of the car? This one, that's what it's worth. I mean, you'd have to buy this for $1,000 at most. This one, it's worth 17 to 2,000. Yeah, it's got really shitty pictures. The bumper is cracked. I mean, yeah, that's what it's worth. I mean, I guess maybe they're not. I guess I just sold one of these for 3,000. Oh, it's got. Oh, the miles are way too high. Nope. It's got. Yeah, it's a little too much going on. Now, this dude mentions if Magic Jack picks up. So that's an old person phone system. I mean, these people are probably old. They might take $1,500, but I don't really want to deal with that. Older people like that. It can get really exhausting. Oh, cool. Let's look at more backward pictures. Genius. Alright, so we'll finish looking at these right here, and we'll call it a day. So, this truck's worth $2,500. If it's under 200,000 miles, it's worth closer to 3. So, you get with them, see what the miles are. It's a pretty nice truck, but I'm sure they know what it's worth. If it's got like 150, we've been told that it runs, but it runs slower. I don't know what that means. It runs slower. Might find out. This car is worth, it's worth 2,500. So, if you, I bet this guy flips cars. Look at all those cars in the driveway. That's what it looks like. I don't know. Oh, here's a good deal. This is actually a pretty good deal. Pacifica. So I know that I always sell these for like $2,500, man. It's leather. It's got 166,000 miles. They probably don't think it's worth anything, but it's got an engine light on. Take your scanner, see what it is. But if they didn't take such shitty, like, what are these shitty pictures? Golly. So this is what you do. This right here is a deal. Now, assuming that everything is good, the engine, the transmission, AC works, drives decent. I mean, you can pick this up for $1,000 to $1,500. This is a deal. And then just go take some good pictures. Shit. I don't know what people are thinking when people take half of a. I'm gonna show you real quick how we take pictures. Make it look nice. Make the car look nice. Here's an SUV. Now this price is too high. We know. Whatever. So first picture, bam. Second picture, third picture, fourth, and then interior, seat, and seat, third row, front, back, corner, and then take some pictures of the features and stuff, what it has. But that's how you take pictures. I mean, you go out there, buy this car for $1,500, throw up some good pictures, list it for 25 to 28, and you got yourself a deal. I mean, you'll definitely sell it for 22 to 25 pretty quickly. And another thing about this one is it's quite a far distance. Yeah, it's about 45 minutes outside of the city. If you have time, this is a great deal. If you can get them to commit on the phone to like $1,200 in cash or 14 at most, drive out there, take a friend, pay them like $50, pick it up, drive it back, sell that. That's $2,500. Good tires. There's a deal. All-wheel drive, no turbo, in good condition. New starter. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this is a good deal. I mean, this is worth 3,000. So if you can get them to sell it for like, if it's all good, all solid, nothing really wrong with it. If you can get it for 2 or under, that's a deal. It's got low miles, that's a good thing. They just took some shitty pictures again. You know, there's a lot of value in cars if you can take a good picture. If you can take good pictures, take an ad that has really bad pictures, take good pictures, clean it up, throw some tire shine on it. I mean, right there, you're adding value. You know, just alone, you could tire shine all the trim on this. You know, you could take really good professional looking pictures. And we use our phone camera for these pictures. We don't use a special camera. We use our Android for all pictures for the dealership. I mean, cameras do great now. This will be a good deal. And finally, we have a spam ad. Yeah. So, you know, there's one thing you can really do to add a lot of value. Is just find ads that have really bad or just a few pictures. You know, little ways to clean up cars, and boom, you can flip them. So yeah, that's our video today, and I hope it really helped you a lot. You know, hope it helped you answer a lot of the questions that you had. And if you do have any more, you know, reach out. Let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So yeah, until next time, this is Anthony with Pro Dealer Secrets, and I'll see you guys on the next one.